What's your name? Sabo? That's different. What's your name? What's your name? Sabo? Ooh, that's different.
What's your name? What's your name? Zayla? Ooh, that's different.
You gotta come.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome,
Welcome
welcome.
to the show. This is Big Jeff
This Shanita.
coming to you live from No Days Off Radio Production with the number one show in the land.
Nothing but the truth.
All right. We
Yeah.
got a pretty good, interesting subject we're going to talk about tonight. And it's about the decisions that our kids make due to our strict parental guidance. You know, and it's interesting because our kids, just like we were when we were kids, we grow up with what we are taught more so than what we see. Now, kids act more on what they see than what they are taught.
That's true.
You know, and I always say sometimes that we in a show and tell era now. If they don't see it, they don't believe it. They can't understand it. They can't relate to it. You know, so that makes them make bad decisions. You know, whether it's a good bad decision or a bad decision. You know, and what I mean by a good bad decision means sometimes we can let our feelings, our relationship with other people, you know, and the people that we actually consider friends or whoever, we would take our loyalty. Sometimes our loyalty gets in the way of that and make us make bad decisions on good things. You know, things that could be prosperous to us, but we'll make the sacrifice and say, okay, you know, I don't want to leave my friends behind, or I don't want to leave the people that, you know, I feel like are there for me more so than being there with me. So I'm going to do this and try to see that everybody be okay, or, you know, everybody's, you know, taking care of this, that, and the third. You know, and then you find yourself in a position to where it can hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good bad decision. You know, so
What you mean, like hurt you like what?
hurt you like, okay, for instance, you can have your heart invested in people so much to where they not appreciative of what you're doing or how you're being with them or how you're trying to keep them in the loop with you to try to, you know, make them realize that we can do better instead of keep doing worse. You know what I'm saying? So the people who you're trying to do that with sometimes can be the wrong people. You know, they can be the wrong people for that. You know, so unless you put them in a position, that's the only way they're going to try to be in a position to be successful or to be, you know, part of what you got going on, or, you know, even if it's not what you got going on, just put yourself in a position to where you won't have to depend on a person as much or all the time. You know, and, you know, a lot of people does that. And they do it because sometimes we don't want to tell our people, hey man, you got to go out there and fend. You know, you got to go out there and figure it out. Now what I do is, you know, what I say we ought to do is put people in position. Put them in position. Ain't no sense in having a whole lot of people around you and ain't nobody working but you.
Right.
Ain't no sense in taking care of people and the only thing they're doing is going to the store when you go to the store. Go shopping when you go shopping. You know, be around you every day, all day, and that's it. No, so that's when you, as a person who feel who wants them to do better, you sit them down. I don't care if you have to sit them down and say, hey, what y'all want to do? You know, let each one of them tell you what they want to do. And whoever have the the smallest business mind to put on effect, that's where you start at. You put them in order. You know what I'm saying? You do your homework. See, write down all the everything they say they want to do as a business. Not just do it as a business to where they can live off of it. They can take care of their families off of it. They can, you know, they can live righteous. Because if you don't, then you'll be in a situation like we was just in. You know, to where everybody had depended on you depending on thugs so much. They didn't think about putting themselves in a position. And it was because everything was a given. Everything was a given. I mean, that's all the way down to family. Tell your family what y'all want to do. Put them in a position to take care of themselves, and everybody who comes in to be a part of it, they welcome. Everybody who don't, hey man, it's on you.
Right.
It's on you. You know, and that'll help make better decisions with everybody. That'll make everybody start making better decisions for themselves. Because now they have a cutoff point. So, you know, that, you know, because if you can't do it like that, or you don't do it like that, you're doing more harm than good to your people. You know, nobody wants to be a dependent, but everybody wants to be independent. I hope they do. You know, so, you know, it's a lot of things that we got to start considering when it comes down to our people.
That's if you can. You know, if
can.
you're in a position to be able to help your family and friends, to put them in positions to help themselves.
That's
you
it.
know, why not? And even
That's
if
it.
you're a celebrity, like, support your family. Post their stuff every now and then. You
That's
know,
right.
you
do all that.
got millions of followers. Post your sister, post your father, post, and not talking about thug per se, 'cause that's what everybody think that whenever you
I know.
No.
I know I'm talking about period.
right, just period.
You know, but you know, and it ain't just about artists. It's about anybody in a status to help their loved ones. The loved ones ain't always got to be family. It can be your girl, your
Yeah.
boyfriends. You know, it can be your cousins. It can be anybody. Anybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves at least a chance. At least a chance. You know, if you put it down, you know, it's no different if I say, hey, I'm gonna give everybody $100,000. When I give you this 100,000, whatever you do with it, that's on you. But after that, ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing else unless it's life and death threatening, or a life and death situation, or it's something that's very, very, very important. That's the only way I'm gonna be at your rescue. Because if a person give you money to be able to do what you want to do with it, and you go out there and blow it, that's strictly on you.
That's it. Do they have to keep re-giving you money
No.
because you decided to make a bad choice with that money?
Thank you. You know, now I can see if you go out there and you get your business, you know, you invest in yourself and get your business, and, you know, over time you wind up losing out. That happens in business.
Right.
That happens. You know,
But you
if
tried. Right.
At least you tried.
You made that effort.
You understand? But to just don't show nothing, hey man, that's on you. That's on you because you was given a chance. You know, so because you got a lot of people who will play the game. You know, hey, I need this, I need that. Hold on, you couldn't get that out of 100,000. You know, it don't take 100,000 to start a business. It might take you over 100,000 to build a business. If you go and buy an empty building and got to put everything in it, you're gonna be well over 100,000. That's common sense. So coming out the gate, try to find you something that, you know, you can build up to where you building money instead of the business.
Right.
Find you a prefab business.
To make you
There's
self-sufficient. Right.
There's a lot of prefab businesses out there
Right.
that for anybody who want to do that type of business that they want to do.
Right.
You know, so you know everything ain't got to be spank brand new.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of businesses you done walked in and it looked like it was spank brand new, but it wasn't. It was built to look like that.
Because I didn't know about your business,
Over time.
Big Jeff, until I went to your house. I didn't know. And when I tell you guys, he got some amazing products. He does. And they're really good. Even his clothing line is really good quality, guys.
Definitely.
Truly
Definitely.
humble unto God. Like, I didn't know that he was such business-minded. And, you know, I didn't know.
You know, so yeah, that's something you need to learn about me.
Yep.
You know, I don't believe in wasting money. I don't. I had too many dependents to waste money. Even though people thought that I did, it wasn't true. But you know, why should I try to change somebody's mind when it's already made up? You know, I just keep moving. You know, because what you eat don't make me shit.
Okay.
You know, so why should I try to prove something to you? You know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Right.
You know, so I went through a lot with this trial,
Oof.
with the trial we was in. You know, and it costed me a lot. But that's the part of me that people have a hard time realizing and understanding. If I got to make a sacrifice for my loved ones, my kids or whatnot, people that I really have a part of my life, I don't mind. I'll make that sacrifice and just try to get it back another way. You know, but I just don't believe in procrastinate. Cause shit happens. You know, as soon as you procrastinate, thinking you can do something this way or that way and, you know, make something happen, something go wrong. Never fails. It never fails. So if you got it right then, do it right then. Do it right then. You know, so I would rather have 10 buildings that I can walk into and do whatever I want to do in them than to have 10 buildings and can't even afford to open the door. You know, that don't make sense. It's a building. It's a business. Once you take over a business or become an owner of a business, that's your building. Mm-hmm. What you wanted to put in there first might not work out. But at least you can keep putting things in to see what works. At least you ain't got to go out there and start over.
Right.
You ain't got to go ask nobody to help you do this or do that. Just put another idea in that building. Sooner or later, trust me, something's going to work.
Something gonna pop.
It's going to work. You know, so, and our kids look at that. People who admire you look at that. And then once they see you just give up, they start thinking another way about you. They start thinking another way. So, you know, people have said a lot of times to me, all the way down to me, man, as smart as you is and business-minded as you are, why your son on this and why your son on that? Because I don't depend on him. But don't get it twisted. If I go to him ask him to do this, that, or the other,
You'll do it.
he's gonna do it. But I'm gonna always try to make my own shit work first. That's always been me. So, and I want to keep being like that, because like that's why we're having this conversation now. That's why we got this show going now, because I want to lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
I want to lead by example. Ain't no sense in me telling my other kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids, do this, that, and the third, and I'm not doing it. They haven't seen me do it. And this is part of why our kids, grandkids, the whole 9 yards, make these type of decisions. Make bad decisions, make good bad decisions, bad good decisions. Because it's a scramble. They see one thing, they hear one thing, and people do something totally different. That's not nothing they can understand. That's failure to them. So, when being a strict parent, it gives your children, it gives the people around you, it gives them a boundary. It gives them a boundary. Because when you being a strict parent with parental guidance, you're making your kids aware. You're making your family members aware. You're making the people that's in your circle aware that it's nothing wrong with doing the right thing. It's easy to do something stupid, but it's hard to do right. It's hard to live the right way and lead by example and include people in your circle that have the same mentality you have. And that's to want something in life. So that make you make a different type of decision. The people who make the bad decision majority of the time, the good bad decision majority of the time, is moving off of pride and ego. I don't have that. I don't have pride and ego. But I do have trust and loyalty. I do have that. And that's what done got me through life. Trust and loyalty. So I don't mind punching a clock to put myself in a position.
Right.
I got a 40-year work history. So that ought to tell you, I don't mind going to work. I'm a jack of all trade, master of 4 of them. I can be of my own anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that come from putting yourself in a position to be an independent, workaholic person. I only ask for what I need. That's it. When you put that type of motivation inside of yourself, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Everybody on my team at this podcast that we do every week, they have that mentality. They have that mentality. And when you come around us, you see it.
Right.
You see it. We're on the same team. We're the same player. We are players of a team, and everybody plays their role.
That part. That's true, guys.
So that come from practicing what you preach. That come from people. That come from these guys and Shanita and myself and our production team. That comes from them being those type of people. So it's not hard. Like people try to make it seem. When people make things seem hard, that you say you trying to do or you want to do or this, that, and other, it's because they don't believe you can do it. Anytime somebody knock what you say you want to do, they don't believe in you. They don't believe. And when I say knock it, I mean give you an excuse on helping you make it happen.
Right. Or why you can't
Or
do it.
trying to tell you why you ain't gonna be able to do it. Or, you know, but see, you ask them. That's when you ask them the $64,000 question, and that's this: have you ever did it before?
Uh-oh.
Have you ever did what I'm trying to do before? That's the only way you can give me the advice on it. You got to be done did it before. Other than that, you ain't talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. You ain't talking about shit. Because you can't tell me about an experience you ain't never had. But you got people who are that bullshitted in the mind till they feel like you just ain't capable of doing nothing. Some people think that about us until they see it. You know, and it's no different than you being broke today, rich tomorrow, and everybody your friend now. I wonder why. I wonder why. Now everybody believe in anything you think sell do. Trust me, they do. You can tell them you seen a crowd piss on a corner. And they'll say, for real? Well, I bet you that was some hell of a shit to see. But they ain't gonna doubt it. They ain't gonna doubt it. And that's when you start looking at them like, why are you really around me? Because if you really can sit here and think that and believe that I seen a crowd piss on a corner, you got to be around me for the wrong reasons. You got to. Cause see now you showing your hand. Everything is good. Everything is cool. Everything, you know, I done sat in the studio sometime, and I'm using this for an example. And heard artists making songs. Songs sound like pure D bullshit. But everybody sitting there doing the little dance I call the studio, that's bob your head to it, you know, and all that old kind of crazy shit. And then soon as the artist, soon as whoever song it is, they cut the system down, everybody say, but that hard right there, man, that sound like bullshit.
But you know what though? Sometimes that be what hit.
So, you know, and that's because of who it is. And then as soon as you walk out the room, everybody say, boy, that's some real shit right that shit there. You say, that ain't saying nothing. No, tell the artist that.
Exactly.
Tell the artist that, because I have done it. I will do it. I will do it. And a lot of artists will tell you I'll do that. You know, you got to be real. You got to be real, man. Why we want to look at you put out some crap? You know what I'm saying? We want you to put out hits at all times. At all times. It might sound a little bad, so go in there and tweak it. Go in there and tweak it. Go over it. Make it a hit. That's how you motivate your people. That's how you be for your people. You know, so there's a lot come with being that type of person to make the bad good decisions and the good bad decisions. But at least make them worth the while. Make it worth the while. Don't make it be a good bad decision to where you say, okay, somebody jumped on my friend, so we gonna go jump on their friends, but we gonna kill some people. Or we gonna try to hurt some people real bad. That's a good bad decision. It's good to try to stand up with your people, but make sure they're your people. Make sure they worthy of standing up for them. or with them. Don't make sure that whatever you're going to help them out on in an altercation is worth whatever the condition going to be that come behind with the consequences that you're going to have to face. Make sure it worth it. And when I say that's a good, bad decision, the good, bad decision is, hey man, why you get jumped on? And you listen to what the person say. Now, if they say, man, I was getting out my car and some folk, they come from nowhere and jumped on me and, you know, this, that, and the third and so forth and so on, but they didn't kill me. Now you gotta think about something. And the thing you gotta think about is, what made them just do that to you? Now, give me the reason why you think they just did that to you. If you don't know the people, you ain't never saw them before, this, that, and other. Okay, now we're finna get us a handful of police, go back over there, and somebody going to jail. All right? Somebody going to jail. Now, if you refuse that help, we got to figure out something else. Got to figure out something else. Because it's going to have to be worth the while. Now, either you lying to me, or you done did something you ain't trying to tell us what's really going on. That's why sometimes you have to make the person tell you what's really going on. Because anybody, if we run over here on these people, do some harm to these people, and then we sit back, and now while we sitting in a jail cell, or somebody get hurt fatally, then we find out you the one started it. And they just retaliated. How we gonna live with that? We done lost a life. We in jail. And it's all because you didn't tell us the truth. You weren't being real. Those are decisions that you make from coming from strict parental guidance, but you feel like the people who you think standing with you is for you. You're not for me if you put me in a bad situation. And then lie to me and have me going through this bad situation with you. And then in the end I find out you lied.
That's crazy.
And now I'm sitting in a jail cell saying, damn, I should have listened to my mama. I should have listened to my dad. I should have listened to the other people that was saying, boy, you'll be a damn fool to be going with these folk and not knowing what's really happening. I don't never want to see nobody go through that anymore. Never. But your parents should know any and everything you got going on.
And that's even as an adult, right?
Even as an adult. My
Thank you.
mama always knew
Thank you.
what I had going on.
Thank you.
Always.
Yeah, I
My
agree.
brothers always knew what I had going on.
I agree.
You know, whether it was good or bad.
And anybody that tell you, oh no, you shouldn't tell your mom that or tell your dad that, that's a hater.
Why not? They gonna be the only one there with me when something go wrong.
Period.
Ain't none of y'all gonna be there. Ain't none of y'all gonna come to court, talk on my behalf, speak on me. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So why your parents shouldn't know?
Why-
Yeah, we
right.
gonna be objective to it.
Of course.
Because y'all our children, we know you're doing something stupid.
Right.
But at least we know. You don't never want your parents or your loved ones to say, damn, he was doing all that. Damn, he was into that type of shit. Damn, he was riding out with people like that on that type of level. But if you get killed, wind up in jail, two worst things that can happen to you. If you get killed, your folks gonna be saying, "Oh, he was a good man. He was a good person, this and a good person that." Okay, probably was. But what got him killed? What was he into? Did he get caught at the wrong place at the wrong time, as they say? You know, something had to happen. Something had to happen. Was there an innocent bystander? What? You know, and it sometimes we can be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
But if you know what's going on in that area, and you been invited to a party or barbecue or anything in that area, and you decide to go, that's your risk. That's your risk. You can't blame nobody for something happening, and you get the bad end of the deal, because you already knew before you went what was going on. What type of neighborhood you're going to, what type of people you're going around, what these people got going on.
Exactly.
You know, so strict parental guidance is what put that mindset in you.
If they listen though, but
Thank you. You know, but that's why with my kids, they would tell you, I have always made them aware that if you're in an area and something happened to you, and I find out you ain't had nothing to do with nothing going on, everybody maybe ain't gonna be able to sleep. But if you're in a situation, you put yourself in a situation and you know somebody retaliating, you get the bad end of the deal, I'm gonna charge you to the game, cause that's what happens in the street. That's part of the street. So when you decide you want to play in the street, it ain't but 3 rules. That's reserve your lawyer, reserve your bonding company, and save you some money.
exactly.
Because at the end, that's the only thing can help you. Because everybody that you think is for you, they just with you. And when you see it, that's what they going to do. They going to disappear.
I'm finna show you a message I sent my son.
They going to disappear. You know, so think about yourself and then others.
What did I say?
Stand with who you know will stand with you. Stand for you.
This was yesterday. Conversation with me and my son. I told him this was I said anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. They want
That's
you
right.
to die.
That's right. You know, so you know y'all gotta see our kids today. Our kids today. They are in so much of. They have been put in so much of a show and tell world. Till they don't look at the facts of life. And it's because if you can't see it, you don't believe it. You don't believe it because some of the things y'all see, y'all don't believe. Because if you did, a lot of things that y'all be accused of would be put in the midst of, would be put in the middle of. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. You can't prove a point to somebody who don't give a damn in the beginning. What you proving? To hang around people, total gun, talk, reckless, or, do all type of ignorant stuff, man. Who you think care? If they care, they wouldn't let you do it.
Exactly.
They wouldn't even play along with it. If they care, if they really care, you can tell me everything. You can go along with everything I'm doing wrong, but you can't tell me to go right. You can't tell me what's right. You can't tell me what I'm doing is not right. That's not a friend.
Not a friend at all.
That's not a friend. That's not even that's nobody loyal to you if they allow you to do that. I believe in loyalty, not friendship.
Period.
Not friendship. Because friendship is with you. Loyalty is for you. And I guarantee you, if we start living by those principles, it'll be a lot of things stopped The law enforcement can't stop crime. Crime has been in the world forever. People stop crime. People slow crime down, not the law. The law adds to crime, believe it or not. Cause at a certain time, the people gonna get tired of the law and go to popping their ass, start trying to hurt them. Cause the law, polices, detectives, everybody in law enforcement already has the mentality that when they're dealing with us, meaning blacks, we are ignorant,
They do believe that.
we stupid,
Right.
we don't know the law,
Mm.
and we are suspects from words say go.
Exactly.
From the words say go. You know, so you already done lost when you black and an officer approach you. The deck is already stacked against you. And as soon as you show some type of intelligence or some type of intelligence that you know a little something about the law, they get offended. Ain't that something? You offend them. How can you offend a man about him being right? How you get offended by that? And it's because they think that they are the ones in charge. No, you're an officer that's supposed to be protecting and serving the community. But as soon as I see you at White Lady Abigail, a little Bobby or Joni, and all they in their neighborhoods, you'll lay down over a puddle of goddamn water and let them step right on you and get over the water. But me, you gonna lay me down in the damn water. And then say, he made me do it. How? How? And can't prove it. Just because I spoke a part of something about the law to you that I know. So the police officer gets offended. Now he rough you up. They rough you up. You know, so and a lot of that, like I say, comes from strict parental guidance. Our kids sometimes think that we be so strict to where they start thinking something wrong. And a lot of that sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, come from you allowing your kids to go to their friends' houses and their parents are letting them do any and everything in the house. So you think your household is wrong because you can't do all that in your house. But your friends like coming to your house more than they want you coming to theirs. Why you think that? Because they see the discipline in your household. Something that they craving. You know, that's when your friends start telling you, well, I wish your mom was my mom. I wish your dad was my dad. Cause boy, they keep it real. That's the reason kids tell our kids that.
Yeah, and you know, some kids do appreciate, you know,
Discipline.
a good parent, right, and discipline, because they may not have had that, you know.
There you go. And they can come out of a household with a mother and a father in it.
Or just a parent that's present, you know,
Thank you.
and, you know, want to be there and do things with the kids.
So, and my kids have went through a lot of that. Their friends would rather be at our house than their own house.
Right.
You know, why y'all think kids why y'all think kids go to somebody else's house if you allow them to spend the night or just come over there and hang out or whatever, and then you feed them this, that, and the third, and your children sitting their asses on the sofa and they company and they're helping clean up. Why y'all think kids do that? But when they go home, they don't wash a dish.
Oh, just fixing to say that. Or when they go to their aunt's house,
They don't.
they neat as can be.
Thank you.
Like,
They don't
what?
do nothing.
You get home, like, oh, you didn't do that at Dale's house.
Thank
though.
you. Thank you. So that's why kids do that. Because they see the discipline and their mindset goes to, shit, I want to come back over Mr. Jeb and them house, so I'm gonna help out. Mr. Jeb, you want me to empty the garbage? You want me to sweep the floor?
Right.
Want me to help wash the dishes? No, you ain't gotta do none of that, cause my children gonna do it.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't like
you can
other
help
kids
out.
come to clean up. No, we need to clean up our own house.
Thank you. You can go in there and help him because you did eat him. You were kicking at him, chilling him like you want all children. But I'm not going to let somebody else's child do something in my house and don't make my own children do it. Not going to happen. Never. But they'll complain to their friend, man, my daddy won't let you do nothing. My mama don't let you do nothing. And they stand there like, and you got a problem with it? They might not say it, but that's what they thinking. You got a problem? Shit, man, I'll be glad for my mama and daddy not to let somebody come and spend the night in our house like they stayed out.
You wanted them to, or you didn't?
I didn't allow people to come. I didn't allow people to come and spend the night, or I didn't allow my kids to be somebody's company. You'll see them in the street. You'll see them in school. You'll see them. Hey, man, that's where you're going to see them at. And then when you come in the house, you come in your house, in your world. You ask my children, ask your dad, can we come over? My children going to tell you straight up, nope. He going to say no. You understand? And, and it's a reason for that.
I don't have company neither. Izzy don't have company.
But see, I learned from being a child why you don't do that. Well, that was my opinion to say why I wouldn't do that. Once I get grown and have kids, I'm not going to let my kids have company.
Mm-hmm.
And that was for two things: sex and lies.
Yeah.
Sex and lies. Little boys and little girls, they grow up.
Right.
I'm not going to let my daughters be sleeping in the bed with no damn girl. I'm not going to let my sons be sleeping in no bed with no boys. Because some people have tendencies. So no, not me. Seeing then they mess around and fall out with each other. Then the child go home and say, well, so-and-so touched me when I spent the night down Mr. Jeff and Miss Doug's house or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then here the parent come, hey, my son or my daughter say somebody touched them the wrong way, this, that, and the third. So guess what? To keep me from having to go through that,
Just go on and, yeah.
ain't nobody coming down here. Ain't nobody spending the night. You ain't spending the night nowhere.
Yeah, we don't do that no more.
'Cause
Well, I let her go somewhere to like sleepovers every now and then, not that often, but most of the time with Izzy, we have a big family. And
Yeah.
So she's close to like my sister kids, and they spend the night with each other. So it's like that we'll do that. But as far as her going over other people's house, I cut that out.
I don't know how them people run their house.
Right, and we don't know who's there.
Thank you. These children ain't gonna tell you, oh, so-and-so mom and daddy wasn't there. So you should have told me that. You should have called home and said, or you should have told them, well, I'm gonna go home, cause my mom and dad don't play like that.
Exactly.
If ain't no adults in the household, I can't stay.
Just like her birthday coming up. So every year, her 13th birthday is on May 13th, next week. So every year, we always have her a big, huge birthday party. And we do. For the last 2 years, it has been probably the last 3 years, it has been sleepover. So I'm like, I'm not doing that
It's a
this year.
chaperone now.
But I don't want to do it this year. Like, it'd be like, Izzy have a lot of kids,
Yeah.
And it's just me and, her dad is there, but he's not there like I'm there. He's not staying overnight and having to deal with all these kids. I don't want to do it this year.
That's a job, man.
It is.
That's
It
a job.
is.
So You know, and then I look at people. I look at these parents, man, go out, kid birthday come, they go get a damn Airbnb or go get a hotel room.
Yeah.
You know, for what? For what? What's the purpose of that?
So you don't have to bring them to your house?
Still, nah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Call me what you wanna call me, and it's not gonna happen.
So not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. I'm not finna coerce you being grown.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't gonna do it at the house, definitely not finna take you to a hotel room and spend 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 and let y'all tap these folks shit and then they hit me with the
No, they
bill.
can't tear it up now.
Shit, children can tear something up. I ain't seen no children yet can't tear nothing up.
No, they ain't tear it
know,
up with me.
You go down, you want to go to the swimming pool. You know they already done been slick, called the little boys, telling them where the party gonna be at.
Yeah.
You know, and they at the hotel in the pool waiting on them. No, dog. No, you know, we as parents got to always think as a child when it come down to our children. We'll do that. So you think I don't think my children will do it? We would do that. We used to do that type of crap. You know, but we had more respect with it than they do.
We do. We did.
You understand? Hey man, we were glad just to get a kiss from the girl after 2 years of talking to her. Now these kids mindset is totally
Yes,
different.
because I don't think I even tried to even date or even like the boy until I
totally
was in my teens.
Thank you. It's totally different. So you can't take that type of gamble. You know, you don't know if these cats got switches somewhere, or guns somewhere, or knives somewhere, none of that. Then some jump off, and they say, well, oh, they with them people right there. Well, we thought they were with them, because when I say they wasn't with me, now we got something else to deal with. You know, so, no, man, you know, stand on your principles. We got to learn how to stand on our principle when it come down to these kids. That's how you break those cycles. We got to go back to that. You know, you see law enforcement done giving up on the kids.
Oh, yeah.
They ready to shoot one up.
Yes.
They ready to kill something up.
It's hard, yeah.
You know, now they got this kids damn shit they doing for a curfew.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Come on, man. They telling us, get y'all damn children before we kill them. That's all it is. And the only thing the police got to do is say it looked like they had something. Look like?
Yep.
Who gonna fight it? Cause see, when you try to fight it, they gonna say, well, mom, dad, you know, the child wasn't supposed to been outside, did that and other. Now they punk ass to get scared,
Right.
thinking they finna go to jail, and they just let it go. Take me on to jail about mine, man. Take me on to jail about mine.
Take me on jail about mine.
That's it. Take me on, cause I'm not gonna let you intimidate me with that.
Right.
Regardless of what, something still happened to my child. I don't care nothing about what you talking about. Something still happened to my child. Or to somebody's child.
Fight for your kids.
You know, so, you know, we ain't gonna cover something up that we know was wrong and we did wrong, and then you make it right for you. No, man, it don't work like that. We got to make these kids understand. My parents gonna be straight up, and they gonna be down with what's right. You know, so that'll put them out of cautious too. Everybody trying to figure out how we can get control of the children. They your damn child. They your children. It ain't hard to get control over your children. You raised them. You had them. Ain't nothing wrong with hitting them in the mouth. Ain't nothing wrong with whooping them. None of that.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So what they call the police? And one thing you can better believe, I want everybody to understand this. They gonna lock you up whether you whoop their ass or not. Cause they got an excuse for all that to arrest you. So just because you let them get away with that shit, they can still come back and say, well, ma'am, sir, it's a curfew and your child didn't beat curfew. So the state or the county or the city, they holding you responsible for your children's action.
Okay.
So don't come to my house telling me I can't whoop my child ass.
Well, they sure tell you that these days.
Cause if my child make me whoop they butt, and they say I'm finna call the police, I'm gonna try to make sure when you pull up, you gonna hear them and they're still gonna ass whip.
Ooh, we could not say that word when we were when I lived at home. We could not tell our parents we're gonna call no police.
I'm finna call the police.
Ooh-wee.
Whoop they do.
Whoop to do.
Call them, and I'm gonna make sure when they get him, they gonna hear me still on you. I wish one of them would tell me you can't whoop them and you can't chastise me. Man, you don't get out my door, man. Only reason I answered the door, man, because you knocked on it. Other than that, they ain't called you. And whoever called you, finna wish they didn't call you. And I'm gonna close my door, man. You can't tell me how to raise my children. You can't. You know? You can send me to all the classes you want to send me to and all that. I'm going to tell the judge, man, if you don't want me to chastise my children, take them home with you. Let me see you take them home and you raise them with just talking. See how far that going to go.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know, so, no, can I tell you how to raise your children? So how you going to tell them how to raise mine? You know, these are the things we got to start bringing up to the system. How can you tell somebody how to raise their children and you don't raise yours like that? Let's make it make sense.
I think it's a new, I don't know. I think law enforcement has changed so much.
Well, it's for fear. It's not for the
like
conditions.
community, yeah.
It's for fear. It's to try to make the parents feel. How can you try to make a child feel like they superior over their damn parents? Because that's basically what you telling them. If your parents chastising you, call the police for what? For what? Your parents can go to jail for chastising you, huh? Who made that law? Well, that one law y'all gonna charge me with. That's one you gonna charge me with, cause I'd be damned if I'm let my children think they superior over me and I had them. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna be that strict parent with that type of parental guidance on my children. I'm gonna be strict. I'm zero tolerance, but I'm fair. Point blank period. You got a problem with that? I'd rather for y'all to give me 3 hots in a cot than for you to give my children 3 hots in a cot and then send them to prison. I'll take that charge.
Exactly.
Hey, we got
We got to call her, guys. We're not sure if she's calling to be on the show or give a suggestion or what. But yeah, as and just to piggyback off of what Big Jeff was saying, he was as far as like the law enforcement, we got a video that we want to show you guys.
You see Georgia Power? Yeah. Bad back.
We got a guess. Hey guys,
Wait,
having some
gas
technical
station?
issues getting this video going. But anyway.
It's 2339.
We got to guess that she's en route here.
You gonna see a building. If it's a long building. What do
If they called and concerned that you're just sitting here and not really doing anything.
I'm sorry, I gotta get this
Yeah,
over
guys,
here.
what happened
The
to
bank
black
called.
man? Just
The
at
bank called and said that they concerned.
you're gonna have to, cause these are one-way streets.
And this is from the neighborhood talk. That's where I got this from. Neighborhood talk. Give them their creds.
You're just sitting here and not really doing anything.
I'm sorry, I gotta get this over here. The bank called. The bank called and said that they concerned that I'm sitting here waiting for them to open up.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. Tampa is out of control, man. But it's another guy sitting.
Are you doing business here?
Hell yes, I'm doing. This is my bank.
Okay, are you going to go inside?
Yeah, as soon as they're open, they open up at 9 o'clock. I can't believe they called you for real.
I swear to God.
That's
That's what they've been
crazy,
saying.
man. That is crazy.
So you're just waiting for the bank to open?
Hell yes. I got too much stuff to do at the bank. Too much stuff to do. Place of business.
All right.
That's crazy though. They called you over
They
here.
said you had alcohol and whatever, so I don't know if they saw you Red Bull as your alcohol. I don't know. So you got to understand it's a bank and people hanging out in the bank parking lot makes me a little nervous.
Makes him nervous. A person's out here waiting for the bank to open at 9 o'clock.
Well, you got to understand people rob people coming in and out of the banks. That's an issue, right? You understand?
They don't even. The employees don't even. They can't even afford what I have. So
Well,
how would I look like I'm trying to rob
What do you
somebody?
got that's so expensive? I'm just curious. What do you do for a living and what do you got so expensive?
I'm an Airbnb in there.
An Airbnb in there?
Yes, that's right. Right, but they don't even drive the
How
cars.
many Airbnb you got?
They don't. A lot of them. They don't even drive the cars. They don't even live. So why would I look like I'm doing something wrong?
Because you're the only one sitting in the parking lot. In a
There's
bank parking lot.
a guy right there sitting in front, right there. He's been waiting with me.
Oh, I didn't see. I can't see him from here, but
I
they
just
said blue Tesla. That's all they said.
right. Come on, like, and I got this is my bank. This is the only bank I come to do, like, and I'm coming to withdraw a lot of money.
All right.
That's crazy though. I couldn't believe it.
They were just concerned. That's why.
When I seen them walk by the first time, I was like,
Who walked by?
when the employees, because these are all their cars, and they were just coming by,
Yeah.
and they were like kind of looking like, what is a black guy doing sitting here in front of the bank? What you think I'm casing the bank out?
It has nothing to do with race.
I mean,
Just an
absolutely.
individual sitting in the parking lot.
I'm from Tampa. I'm from Atlanta originally, so
So what does that mean?
when I came to Tampa and I seen like just how it's different,
What's different about it?
there's just a lot of prejudice.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right, bud.
yeah. No problem, man. I
No problem.
appreciate
I'll
it.
let them know.
Yeah, let them know that I'm coming in to make a deposit, withdrawal, a big withdrawal. That's crazy.
No problem.
That's fucking crazy.
Absolutely wow, guys. Absolutely wow. So that's what I was saying, and that's just to piggyback off of what Big Jeff was saying about how, law enforcement, sometimes they think we're slow. And it's not necessarily just law enforcement. It's like, because the law enforcement came, he didn't come on his own. He came because he was called. So the people at the bank actually called him. And that would be the day that I would get a new bank. He said he's the Airbnb billionaire. That would be the day that I would find me a whole new bank and I would not do business with them anymore. He was sitting there waiting for the bank to open. And the employees, because he's black, but like he said, the police officer tried to say, oh no, race doesn't have anything to do with it. Oh, race has everything to do with it. It really does. And so I don't understand how people always are so quick to say that race doesn't have anything to do with it when race absolutely has everything to do with it. And that's why he was pulled over. We have a guest coming in the studio, guys. Big Jeff is bringing the guest in here. Miss Tiffany, how are you? Good. Good to meet you. You the co-host, girl. There you go. Glad you made it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's the kind of the church trying to get in?
All right, we made it back. Okay, we got a special guest that coming in tonight to talk about her situations and things that she have learned in the past, in the present, and now the future. And we're gonna let her identify herself and tell y'all what her purpose is for being on the show. All right, so go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Coach Tiffany. I'm a community activist and also a master life coach. I did 21 years in prison, and so what? And so what I try to do is just pay it forward and just help not just the women that are coming back home to be returning citizens, but to also can I fix this? Okay, but also to help um, women who are single and who may have, say, children. My job is to pass on the resources that I have for others, and that's just it.
Go ahead, girl.
Oh, thank you.
That's what's up. We need those type of resources to help those that have been incarcerated because it's really hard once you're out and sometimes you feel like you have no help. You know, you feel like because everybody actually don't know what to do. Like, you know,
It's a lot. It's a stigma on both sides for, let's say, the family and for, say, someone such as myself. And so you lose a lot and you gain a lot if you go into the system and you just pretty much, you know, utilize what the state has in classes, trades, and so that's pretty much it.
are your resources primarily in Georgia or where are your resources at?
So, yes, mostly in Georgia. However, I do have a wide network with my colleagues, with my other life coaches,
Okay.
that they are out of state. I got my master's with Life Empowerment Incorporation as Pastor Lee Robbins. Thank you, Papa.
That is so good.
Um, so, just with that program, it's very vital, not just for people who are coming home that are incarcerated, because all of us are going through something, so we can't downplay that. But the worst place for someone to be in prison is in their mind.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Okay. Now, the time you did, right? Where did you do your time at?
All over. So I started diagnostics, which would have been at the time Metro State Prison right there on Constitution.
Wow.
That was the first and only diagnostics for women.
For women, yeah.
And then, of course, when later on, after I got GP, which was, I went to general population, which is the Alto. So I did not long at Alto before they shipped me back to Metro.
Yeah.
And then from and then I went back to Pulaski, from Pulaski to Alta.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
Alta
'cause I
was,
know Alta was a men's prison.
yes,
They
and
turned
you
it
know
to
the
a
thing
female
about
prison.
that is, it's so scary. I did not have the pleasure to go to Alta, and I probably would have went to the psychiatric ward because they found, and I'm close friends with women who and ladies who have actually had to go there and clean up. And so a friend of mine, we were talking about this a couple of years ago. She was like, "Girl, you know, they found skulls, dead bodies, because you know it used to be a men's, but also a YDC.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it used to. And so the men were raping and abusing those
Lord have
young
mercy.
boys and other men and killing them. So, you know, to see, I don't know what I would have done if I seen skull. I would have ran up to the administration. I cannot be here. You need to, right, or give me some sage or something that I can do, because it's, you know.
Yeah, 'cause it was a men's adult prison first. You know, so I had a lot of friends and, you know, people that was over there. And man, it was something else. But they had a female prison right beside it
Wow.
before they closed it and made that the women prison.
Right, so that must have been when they just opened,
You know,
put the women over there.
Yeah, they put the women over there. And the reason I think they took the men from over there is because I had a couple of guys over there during their time, and they used to be telling me how, you know, things were going on, you know, and the things that were being done to where they sometimes had the men and the women on the yard at the same time. You know, and say, they say, "Hey, man, boy, I get right," you know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
So, hey, man, through the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Is that why they segregated him because of him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something.
There's a lot go on in them systems,
It
man.
is. It
It's
is.
a lot, and so, you know, to be someone that came out and survived it, and it's still just like
That's right.
forward, in spite of what I may have going on. Like, it's like I should have called you so you could come and speak on the panel about 2 weeks ago at our reentry summit.
Okay.
So I spoke on the panel again this year, and I'm on the committee, so it's
Good
just,
job.
Good. That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's good you rehabilitate.
Because you're making a difference with your
Yeah,
experience.
with her experience.
You turning your pain into purpose.
I'm trying
Yeah.
my best. I'm trying my
Yeah.
best, and so all the resources that I have, it's actually Jeff, what I'm putting into my brand and my business. I have a hybrid, non-profit, for-profit, so I can not only help those that are coming home from prison, but also help those single mothers, those young girls.
Yeah.
I can tell you something. I got a young girl that a friend of mine called me, like, and it's their ex-stepdaughter, and so they're like, my boyfriend doing this, and that, and I'm like, okay, well, let me call Miss such and such, and I just met her a couple of weekends ago.
Wow.
Because to be a young girl and to have the experience that is, you don't want to go through abuse.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it be
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally,
You're right.
physically. I
You don't
don't
wanna
want
go
to
through it. Yeah.
Talk to me nice if you can, because I'm a loving, kind being, in spite of, and so, you have to treat people how you want to be treated.
That's right.
Treat people with respect, and so that's it.
But you made it. You survived it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Thank God for
and
that.
now you able to tell your story. You know, Tiffany has been talking to me for a while about
Since I've
coming
been
on the
home.
show. You know, she want to come on the show and this, that, and the other. You know,
Glad you made it.
and she stood up to her work. You know, and I explained to her how this show actually works. We're not like other podcasters. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she's here as well. It's because she's gonna get a chance to tell her story, other than us trying to speak on her story. You know, we want you to just feel comfortable and just talk. You know what I'm saying? Just talk. You know, that's what we are about at this show. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes you probably have some people might want to ask a question. You know, and Shanita, once she see it, she'll read it off. You know, and you get a chance to answer. You know what I'm saying? Out of your own words.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, but Tiffany came a long way, man. And tell everybody what you was in prison for.
Oh, okay, so that's a lot, Papa Jeff. So I was,
What mainly sent you to prison?
what mainly sent me to prison was escaping from a toxic relationship, a toxic,
Wow.
forceful relationship. And once I had an actual escape plan. For me, it was like, you know.
Talk. She
So,
was in a
okay,
life and
let me
death
say this.
situation.
Yeah, so
You
let me
killed
say
him.
this. A lot of
Yeah, murder.
so my charge was involuntary. So let me go back. So my initial charge was vehicular homicide in the first degree, which would have which I would have gotten 5 years probation. So I'm going to add in that they indicted me after the time I was charged that. Let's just say that Paul Howard and Fannie Mae Willis, who was spinning the limelight, was my
She was.
assistant. She was the
Yeah.
assistant DA.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if I'm defending myself, if I'm not the aggressor, which I wasn't, and so if I'm defending myself and I wasn't as big as I am today, Pop Jeff.
Yeah, I know.
I was a pole little
She
something.
was a little bitty girl.
You know,
Wow.
so to be jumped by and to have to defend myself and to try to leave and I didn't see, baby. I'm gonna be totally transparent and I can do that today. I was trying to leave and not paying attention because I had my phone, so I'm trying to call my homegirl. Like I know she stayed around the corner, not too far, about 5-6 minutes away. So I could call her and get, you know. But that's not how the powers that be had it, and I didn't realize that I had it, girl. But I left because it was like I just left, you know. And so because of that, it's like it needs to be a law where when someone defends himself
Right.
and
Stand your ground.
stay your grounds, but also when it's other activities involved. You know, especially when someone is doing something against their will.
Right.
Which is so back then it's so taboo, but today it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't even wanna take nothing from the water boys.
Yeah.
I'm out here trying to do the
Cause
Lord's
it,
work.
cause it can put you in a mindset of being distrustful to people, period. You know what I'm saying? You know, and
Yeah.
that's a bad way to have to think about people.
Well, I still believe, like we used to say this,
If you could do it all over, if you could go back to whenever it happened and change anything, what would you have done differently?
I would have not gone out with, if I could change anything in my whole life, because you know, so I'm a survivor of human trafficking. So if I could change anything, it would be to change the young man that I initially dealt with and that my kidnapping occurred, how my kidnapping occurred, whether my grandmother raised me to not have any regrets. You did it, you said it, that's just what it is. But when it's trauma and misfortunes are involved, it's kind of like I have to identify with that. I have to heal from that, and I have to move forward for that and help the people that don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know everything. I'm just gonna be honest.
Nobody knows everything. Right.
Nobody.
Look, we're not judgmental
You
here,
just speak
honey.
on
I know we
you
just
just
speak
speak
on
on your experience.
Right.
You know, that's all.
And so for me, I feel like God, you know, I talk a lot of ish, and you know, I said I had to cut off one toe, and I guarantee you, you can't walk a mile in my shoes because I feel like the things that I have endured and gone through and overcome and conquered, half of the women would have killed themselves. They would have been admitted to
Yeah, well, some would have been. They would have been really mentally disturbed.
crashed out.
Yeah,
So I'm like, Lord, send me out. I overcame it. So show me how I can help someone else.
that's right.
And that's just it. I'm trying to pay it forward. You know, that's all.
Well, you done paid some debt to society. You know what I'm saying?
How almost I be off?
They say talking to the mic.
I'll be off the books in September.
There you go.
That's what's up.
I'll be off probation in September. It's been hard.
Do you have social media?
Push it
I
on.
do.
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is pretty on purpose.
Pretty on purpose.
Those are all pretty much all my handles for TikTok. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay.
Is that you right there?
No, that's not me. It's not
You might want to say it in the mic.
Okay, so it's Pretty on Purpose. It's going to be PRETTIE 0N_purpose. Okay. And let me grab my phone.
Say it again.
I don't be on. I'm on social media, but I'm not on social media like that. Cause social media to me is I was gone when they had MySpace and all that stuff. So
Well,
all
now.
we had was Nextel church.
Yeah.
So
Now.
I'm like a dinosaur.
Yeah. So you gotta start. You gotta start doing that regularly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta run your content page up. So people can hear your story.
Or know how to
Or
contact
they know how
you
to
for
contact you.
assistance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Absolute justice. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna follow you back.
And then I'm gonna put I'm gonna tag you in the post for today's show.
Thank you, Papa Jeff. This is such an honor. I know when you first told me you had a podcast, I was just like, I want to be on there, but everything is timing. So
Yeah.
Yep. So it is at least you him. And like I said, I want you to tell your story. You know what I'm saying? Tell your story so people can see how far you came over 21 years of being incarcerated.
You were incarcerated
that you
21
that you was
years.
rehabilitated, like people, like people supposed to do when they go to prison.
So I was slumming, and it was a blessing and an honor to be able to go speak. Shout out to Pastor Mel if you're on YouTube, and shout out to Cross Culture 360 Ministries for just having me. So I was honored last month to go speak at a ministry, and so to tell my story, and I wrote like 3 pages, and it was a lot going on. So I was like, Lord, I tried to call the pastor to be the last person. So she said, oh, it's not the 3 of y'all. You're the 3rd person, and you're gonna go. And I was like, okay. I said, Lord, I'm really not ready for this. So I got there late.
Gotta always be ready.
And I'm trying to go. But I think, so today I'm more, let me say, and this is not off subject, that I'm more spiritual than I am like religious. I'm more in tune into I'm signs and wonders type girl.
Okay.
So if I'm going, like coming here, it was like, go this way. I said, now this don't make no sense. Why? Go this way when I'm supposed to go that way. So using your first mind. So I ended up being late, and I was sitting there, and the time I sat down, it was Dr. Rubin, and she said, community actives, Tiffany Turner. And I'm like, hey. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm a community activist, however I am, since I've been home. December 5 is a significant number for me because I get off the books in September. My birthday is
Okay.
in August, and then I've been home 5 years in December, and so after I spoke, it was 2 judges,
Wow.
a tax commissioner,
Mm-hmm.
and
At 40 County?
no, Clayton.
Oh, Clayton. Okay. Oh, Clayco.
And the legislator, the Congress legislator, beautiful black woman. I spoke behind all them, and I was like, God, I'm not a lawyer, but
You don't have to be the speaker.
and I get that, and then so it's like you put me in this room, so
That's right.
let it be all of you. But my prayer was going to the event to speak was, God, let the words of
That's
my
right.
mouth be acceptable in your sight, and let it be all of you, Lord God, and not none of me. And that's what I did, and so I got a lot of connections, and so I blessed a lot of people, but I was blessed in the midst of it.
In the midst
so
of it,
I'm not saying that to be arrogant, but I'm like,
No, that's what the purpose was.
right, but I'm like, I get so much hate and backlash, and it's so funny, and it's from the same people that I help.
But that got to be your motivation now.
Listen,
That be motivation for you.
such a
You know,
Southern belle.
people. You gotta. I want you to understand, and I know you already understand because you've been there, done that. everybody's not gonna like you. Some people ain't gonna feel what you're saying. Some people ain't gonna, have this least thought about what you're trying to do. None of
Right.
that, because at the end of the day, like we say on this show a lot of time, at the end of the day, man, when you try, don't try to impress people.
Right.
Don't let part of your motives be to be impressed or accepted. You know what I'm saying? Stay just like you want to be, transparent.
But
Amen.
amen, hallelujah. I think sometimes a person, we as people, some of us have natural lights.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how you can walk in a room and you might see a person, I'm a girl's girl. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a gatekeeper. Like, I could be in the mall. We could be in the mall and I'm like, girl, you go beauty. I love the outfit because
Right.
that's the type of person that I am. And so I think a lot of times it's hard because you might see a person but you never know what they're going through, but it's
That's
just
right.
something about them that's like, oh, they so handsome, they so pretty.
Yeah.
But it's the gift that
Yeah.
the Most High gave them, and so
Sure.
I just try to walk in the authenticity that Yahshua Jehovah Jireh
All right.
Yeah.
created me to be, and
Okay.
it's like it's time to tell it, and it doesn't matter to me who likes it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. It's three sides to every story, so they say, but I'm gonna tell the truth.
Right.
That's what the name of this show is.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing
So
but
you didn't
truth.
see me.
Nothing
You
but
know,
truth.
On my face when I walked in, I was like,
Nothing but the truth.
yes.
So,
And so I think
people need to hear these stories.
they need to not only hear the story, but we lack power because we lack knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
that's why I say they need to hear these stories so they can see people have some things that you can learn, man, other than getting it out of a book.
right.
You know what I'm saying? These are realities.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
These are people that need to be running for office.
Thank
People
you.
that been through
Thank you.
something.
And it's sad that I can't vote, but I can go out and canvass. And I just want to share this. So I was shout out to Work in America. Y'all paid me
Okay.
real well.
Yeah.
In the trenches. So we were in at birth, and so we in all these $1 million homes, and I'm knocking on people's doors, a lot of gates, and I'm just, I can't. It's no access. I'm not gonna do it. But I had the pleasure and the honor of talking to somebody who was best friends with President Trump daddy. And he was just basically saying, talking because, I wasn't one of those people, hey, who you vote for? Hey, what are your views on what's going on? What's affecting you and your household? But I mean, these people have gazillion dollar houses, so nothing is affecting them.
Yeah.
That we know
now
of.
we can,
That we know
we looking
of.
at it from the outside.
On the outside looking
Yeah.
in, they might have some stocks down. The wife
There
might be an alcoholic,
thank
cheating.
you.
The
it
son
can
might be
something.
artistic, or the son
Yeah.
might just not. He hang out with
That's
bad
why
people.
we can't judge.
You can't never judge a book by its cover, but
Right.
so for me, I didn't experience what some of my other colleagues experienced.
Okay.
But when we went to Alpharetta, the lady called the police on me,
Why?
and because she said that I was unauthorized in the neighborhood, and I had a paper, and I'm like, ma'am, you see my tablet, I'm authorized to be out here. I'm not knocking on your door, but I'm recording her at the same time because I am.
Covering yourself.
Not just that, but baby, this is not 19, 18, 26.
That
And
part.
I respect you and you respect me, and that's just how life is.
Right.
I could get real deep. America is built on thieving and killing and
That's
stealing. And it was built on my people back, your people back, so forth and so on. And I said what I said. And so, my thing, my story, and my brand is to elevate the next person. You have a goal, you have a vision. If I can walk you to the door, baby, do your best.
That's it.
You better shake a shimmy and shake a tail feather and
That's
make
right.
it count.
That's right.
And that's the gatekeeping for me. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, we got another call on the phone, and this is one of our closest girls. She's one of my personal activists, and she's secretary, she everything. All right, we're gonna introduce yourself.
Hey, Shanita and Jeff, it's
Hey.
JL. How
I
y'all
know it's
doing?
you,
What's
girl.
going on, girl?
How you doing?
We got a
Shanita
special.
was striking some gold today. I was like, yes, Shanita, because what she said, I don't feel like it this year. I felt that.
Amen.
I know that, right?
Yes,
You know
Shanita,
that, right?
I love that.
Yes.
I want you to
know.
introduce yourself to Tiffany. Let you get some insight on Tiffany. Tiffany did 21 years in prison
Oof.
and made it
Lord
back
have
home.
mercy. That's a
And
long
you know,
time.
she's one of the young ladies who I've been knowing, and you know, she has really made a big accomplishment. And when I
That's
tell you
awesome.
yeah,
Hi,
she
Tiffany.
Hello, Miss CJ. How are you?
I am good. Welcome home. Welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
No,
thank
that's
you,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, she been.
And it's great you being a part of the change and want to see different, want to do different, and want to bind together to make it happen. Because the more is needed. As me and Shanita always say, reach one, teach one.
That's
Got to
right.
connect together and make it work.
That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Got to. You know, so she done came a long way, man. She been home 5 years.
Almost December.
Yeah, almost 5 years. So you know, yeah,
That's
she
good.
she done put in a lot of work, man, and she do decorations. She
Okay.
do, hey man, she do a lot of
You
things.
do it all, huh?
One thing I can say is, whenever we need her for something, she show.
That's what's
She
up.
show and she show out and she put in some real work, man. She put
I
in some
know
real
that's
work.
right.
You know, so we love her.
Shout out to Papa Jeff.
Everybody love multi-talented. Get it done,
She
baby.
the only person in my life called me Papa Jeff.
And then not nobody else call you Papa Jeff.
And you got a lot of kids connected to you.
I'm the daughter.
You Papa Jeff for real.
I'm the daughter from the great granddaddy.
The daughter from the
Nobody
other
knows
mother.
about
They're right. They're right.
I love that, Jeff. You really touched on a lot of things with these kids and the upbringing and how it was strict and different things. Shanita said, you know, she been doing sleepovers.
Yeah.
And I was really, you know, always stay tuned in with y'all listen. And I just thought, you know, we couldn't have those.
Sure couldn't. Sure couldn't.
We didn't have no sleepovers. We knew better to ask.
Think about trying to have
Well, I
it.
had lock-in.
Yeah, like we couldn't even, and don't be trying to put nobody on the phone to ask
What you
for it.
talking about?
Well, but you know, I'm gonna say this and shout out, rest in peace, Bishop Pastor Ed Long. I don't care what nobody say about that man. He was a real man. And I remember when New Birth was right on Salem Road in
Yeah.
West the Chapel.
Yeah.
We used to have lock-ins at the church.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
know
what's
you used
too
to have
much?
lock-ins.
Yeah, we used to have lock-ins, and at the skating ring at Golden
And the
Glide,
skate
too.
ring, yeah.
And so
I remember
that's
that.
the thing. Those
Look
are,
at all her
those
parties.
are the things that we need to get back to, Miss CJ. I'm a Girl Scout alumni.
Okay.
I'm a Boys and Girls Club alumni. And those things are like prehistoric, non-existent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so those are the things that
But see,
we
we was
need.
able to have them back then though, because things were different.
Correct.
Now, in order for you to have a lockout, you're gonna have to damn near have the National Guard now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't feel like
to
that.
keep things down. Now I'm saying just for the presence, because what we tend to let the kids do now is have too much say so in things.
So, okay.
That's true.
To
I'm
where-
guilty. I am guilty
If
of
we-
that.
if
Listen,
we-
listen, Papa Jeff, you don't know, I have a daughter. I'm a great grandmother. My
Oh, okay.
great grandbaby came yesterday.
Okay.
My daughter said, I said, how she came out of the Papa bet she came out kicking. She didn't come out screaming. So for me, it's like, I'm gonna show you the ultrasound after this. But it's for me, it's like, and the ultrasound like this, she like this. You not even fully developed. What are you? You know what I'm saying? And so I think once we have to get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Because kids don't really know.
That's what we
nothing.
definitely got to get
They
back.
don't know nothing. They
Yeah.
don't know nothing. And it's sad because I'm gonna tell you, last year Easter I was going to the store. went to a friend's house and we would stop by the store. We went to the store and she was like, now watch this little boy. I said, let me tell you something. He could have been no more than 12. Was handsome as he wanted to be, just as cutie pie. But he had a pistol on him. I said, let me tell you something. I said, I have some medicine, I have a taser. I said, if he try me, I'm gonna mace him and I'm gonna take the belt. I'm gonna take this nice heel and beat him like his great grandmama should have, and call the police in the process.
Yeah.
Because who you playing with, little boy? You old enough to be my grandson, my child.
Yeah.
And I think they can't blame it on single mothers.
So
they can't blame it on the
that ain't got
government.
nothing to do with none of that.
Listen, we lay down together. We know if we're not using protection, it's a possibility I'm gonna concede. And so it's both parties. And
right.
for me, I get so sick of people saying, well, this and this, that. No, sir, you knew what type of woman he was dealing with. Just like, ma'am, you knew that he was nothing.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Put it up to the game. So, for me, it's like, let's just get back to the basics so we can be great.
Hey, man, I've been saying that for the last 15, 20 years almost.
Since
You know,
I've been gone.
You know,
It's been
because
that bad.
they, what our kids were our kids.
Right.
Meaning my kids is y'all kids.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that a lot of our kids do, and that's another thought I had on this show bad. I hate to hear a woman or a man say, I ain't gonna raise my children like I was raised.
Well, how were you raised?
First of all, why you think you still here?
Somebody poured into you.
First, let's have that mindset. Let's think about that first. If I hadn't been strict, your mama hadn't been strict, or your grandmama hadn't been strict, if you didn't come from that village, do you think you will still be here? You understand?
I don't.
So,
I had good
so
parents.
what you mean by, what y'all mean by you not gonna raise your children the way you was raised? So
Right.
you saying you were raised wrong?
Exactly.
But you
had
have
a-
to,
because
but you
you
have
didn't
to
run
look
something?
at it like. But Jeff, you got it. I 100% agree, because at the end of the day, it's like, if you know you got the wisdom, and you know that they being raised like mine.
Right.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
I had to do it. He was doing a bid.
yeah.
So there was no other options but to do what I needed to do and get it done.
Get it done.
But I didn't change it to no different from how I was raised.
I don't know. That's what I
saying,
see.
man. You can't,
I stuck to the exact same basics, and now I'm watching my daughter apply the same ones with
to
her.
her
And
too.
I do that,
There
and,
you
and,
go.
and that's how I raise my daughter too. I do things that
And my son is
mom let
saying
me
the
do.
same thing, like
I
with
think I
his
came
son.
out okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No.
don't gotta go. See, the problem these days is the trend.
Yeah.
Is what's what's in social media, what's in the world, what everybody want to follow. It is simple. If you stick to just the principles, the basics with morals, you are right.
You all right.
But see, that's the thing.
You're
Not
right.
cutting in. That's the thing. Nobody
And you
has
discipline
those.
and chastise when you
Right.
need to.
Spare the rod, spoil the child, and nobody has. It's almost like somebody raised you. I don't care if your mama smoked
Thank you.
crack,
Thank you.
if your daddy
Somebody
was a bank robber.
raised you.
Somebody poured into you. Somebody took the time enough to care,
There you
to
go.
pour into you, and that's one of the things I never have lost. Is my values, my morals,
Amen.
You
my
can't lose
standards,
that
and my goals.
when it's
You
instilled
can't.
in you.
And so that's why I say being locked up in your mind is the worst place that a person can be.
That's
Not
right.
necessarily being
Right.
physically locked
That's
up. Simply because it's almost like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. If I know that I have to, and this is a thing where common sense is not so common.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people don't have the sense that God gave them. So,
I say you just have to look at it as whatever situation, no matter where you are, whether you in, you out, whether you stuck somewhere, whether you miserable, no matter where you are in the world, in the place, in anything, It's how you were raised. Because if
It's
you're
gonna come out.
raised off of strength, if you're raised off of endurance, if you're raised with that tenacity, that grit,
It's gonna come
then
out.
no matter what situation, you can put you anywhere.
That's right.
But what's within you, can't nobody take that. Because you adjust to it because you got that inside, so you adjust your mental.
That's right.
Because it's in you. It's not
It's
on
in
you.
you. That's it.
It's in you, and
man.
Right.
that's all I was saying.
It's
Like
in you.
whoever poured into you, like I'm gonna use me for example. My grandma raised me, but for on Saturdays, baby, it was love and happiness.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
understand?
sir.
And see, I got
Yes.
the harder. It was a father, 2 uncles, and 7 boys.
Oh no, I come from a
So-
of
So there wasn't
in-laws
like,
and
you
family
know,
members.
I had to have that fight all
Yeah.
along because
Yeah.
they were so strict on me being a girl.
And the girl.
And you had structure, and so me too. And so you and I and other women who and ladies who have grew up with structure, grew up with the lead of extraordinary gentlemen, as I like to call them. You understand? We're different.
Oh, they were militant with it. They were militant with it.
Miss CJ, I come from a line of police officers.
No, I mean, they weren't in none of them
agents.
roles.
Yeah.
They were mentally
Listen, my daddy
with
retired.
having a girl around. But
Yeah.
it's just a very different. So I always, like, when I come across people, I always check their mental first. That's the first thing, because I know the longest relationships, the true ones, the loyal ones, are going to be ones with that strong mental, that got that core, that got that value inside. You can't instill it. It's either in you or on you.
That's right.
Right, but also I tell a lot of, listen, I've had to cut young mentees out because it's like, come on, you don't get it. So, and I just want to piggyback off what you said. It's really, listen, it's your standards, your values, your morals. Somebody poured something into you, and treating someone how I want to be treated. And like, I don't know, this might be off subject, but I just can't for the life of me allow a man to stay in my house. He doesn't have a job, he don't have a car. And it's funny.
Hey, it's
I
hard.
had to cut my mentee off that I've known since she was 19 years old. So it's like, we at this point and we free, and you dealing with SpongeBob, like this is what we're doing. And don't call me talking about can you, do you, I do you, because I don't, my life is not structured like that. Because I didn't grow up around those type of men. I grew up around leaders, protectors, providers, intelligent men who I don't know. So it all goes back to
You raised it. What's instilled in you,
yeah.
Mark?
Yeah, but
As long as you crossed your I's and I mean dotted your I's and crossed your T's, and you offered, you helped him to try to, you know, find something that would work for him, and you stood by him trying to get it. You had them conversations like, this got to change, but I'm gonna help you. As long as you did your part on that, then hey, nobody has to raise somebody else's child. No matter what the age is, that's somebody else's child.
So in other words, as long as he got potential and not potential, right?
That's right.
well, this wasn't a male. This was a female.
Oh.
My mentee.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So and she.
No, I thought you were saying when you said no
Well,
man
it could
can
be
come
male
back
or
in.
male.
No,
It's
I get what
still
you're
apply.
saying, CJ. I get that.
Yeah.
But for me, when I, because you have to understand. JL, I'm sorry, Miss JL. I've been calling you Miss CJ, Miss JL. Please listen for the correction.
She understands.
So for me, when I created a big sister, little sister program while I was in prison.
Wow.
So for me, that's a lot. And
That's a lot.
I don't take having someone under my wing lightly.
Yeah.
Because if I need to be the voice for a reason, and someone actually, hey, listens to what I say and then so be it. Now, with that being said, when you have a 10-year run ahead of me, and you are going through something, let's say, such as a divorce. So for me, I didn't care about the man when I came home. My grind was getting my life together. Meaning, stack my money, give me a car, give me a better car, pour into my business, and that's where I was. It wasn't chasing behind some man because he was in a scat pack.
Yeah.
Or he had some LeVan sneakers on.
Yeah.
And so my thing is a little bit different from others. So I want the best for me. So for my tribe, I want the best for them. If you can't handle my best friend, my little sister, my god sister, my little baby, my mentee as a man, if you can't provide for her and she's doing what she needs to do as a woman, and you can't add value, if you're not an asset to her life, hand her back over to Big Mom.
That part.
And I'm gonna find somebody that can be an asset to her life. Put her to a door where she can be an asset
but
to her life.
that's also an experience for her to see.
Well, this
That once she see it, she gotta also understand that this is not a benefit for me. As we say, we can do bad by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Once me, I give my kids, nieces, nephews, I give them the knowledge, and then I leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's right.
I want them to experience life. I want you to, this something. I don't want them to be 40 going through that. You understand what I'm saying? Going
But at
on
the end
through
of
it
the
now.
day, if they gotta bump their head at 40, they gotta bump
their
it.
head one or two times, but you just keep supporting from the outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. Once they get to a certain age, that's all we can do anyway. Just keep supporting them from the outside.
But you know what? I think age, Papa Jeff, doesn't
I
define anything. Simply because
It don't. But see, we gotta,
But Jeff, it go two ways.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
We
what
can
I
say
took
that.
I took
But
the
our
pause.
kids, the only way our kids can say that is if they're still living by that right now. You feel what I'm saying? But if they're, like for instance, if I'm not still in the household, I don't know what mom got going on with them in the household. Now, if I'm not active in their life, I don't know what, because see, one thing our kids know is this. When I'm with mama, well, I can jump off the damn roof if I want to.
When you with daddy,
But when I'm with daddy, when I'm with daddy, he ain't playing. So that's why I have always had an understanding and a relationship with my kids' mothers, so that the kids will never feel like they can play both sides against the middle.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I get the understanding with mom. I don't care what we go through, we're gonna raise these children together. No if, no ands, no buts.
I think, for me,
I agree with that, but Jeff, it can go two ways.
Oh yeah, it go both ways.
Now,
I know it definitely go. That's why I say
Cause
when they're at home with y'all, I don't know what you letting them do.
But still, if you're not in
Feel
the
what I'm saying?
household, I think it just depends on if you're an active father and those kids love you. You understand? And everything shows in your actions. You know, and if they know, okay, that's just like I knew at my grandma's house, Mira and I going.
Ain't going for
I
it.
go to my mom's house. I'm a test her to the limits because
Thank
you don't really keep me like that. So it's free will.
That's
I'm
it.
gonna test it till I can. But however, when you have a father in a household, I'm just gonna say hands down, most kids know like, oh, okay, my daddy not going for it, or they can, or my mama said no, but my daddy gonna say yeah, because my daddy do it.
Cause see when
My mama might say something, and you know what I'm saying, and my dad is like, well, you have a point, and my dad agrees with me.
So when I left home, when I left the household, there's a lot of things I had to accept. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it was because I'm not there anymore. That's why I got the understanding with mom, regardless of what, the child is not gonna rule this relationship. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, now, but see, a lot of guys and a lot of women, that's why I got that mentality from seeing my other partners and shit and other women going through the bitterness of the relationship. I'm not doing that. Cause
I
then we
guess
got
I got
kids
a
in
bad.
this picture.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
can
I
hate
feel
me.
that.
You can hate me. I can feel like I hate you. But we not gonna let this child see that.
Right.
You understand? That's what I mean by we ain't gonna let the child rule the relationship, playing that both sides against the middle shit. I can go with my daddy, he gonna give me whatever. Mama, she gonna be strict on it.
Yeah.
I can go with daddy, he gonna be strict, but mama gonna let me do what I wanna do. I'm not gonna let the child even think they got that advantage.
I think it comes with the
You know?
structure of it. It's almost
And,
like
and you have to know, like, there's a lot of men out there that are labeled as deadbeats, but
Thank you.
physically they can't be there, mentally they can't be there. Otherwise, they gonna catch a case every time.
Every time.
but not just
I
that.
mean, I was raised, so I seen all these males in my home go through a lot of different things. So it always put a mindset on me. Don't
right.
never
That's right.
weaponize these children,
That's right.
because when you weaponize them off of feelings and emotions, that child loses and nobody else.
See, and then they
That's
grow
it.
up.
That's all.
And then
I
they
don't
grow
watch
up
women
with that
play
mindset.
games because
You
that
feel what I'm
man
saying?
don't want her no more.
But and that's the thing, and that's what I was gonna say. These women, that's just like I feel like, and I know some people, you understand, that are good fathers and good mothers, and they're on both sides of the fence.
Right.
And so for me, let's get back to the basics again. If I know he has inconsistency with me dating him, no, I'm not gonna deal with him on a second level. Because if I'm playing reckless with this man and I know I can't call him when I got a flat tire, because I don't know how to change my tire. So if I call him, I would think that if I'm dealing with a man, I can call on him.
He should know the things
Right,
that a man's
so
supposed to do.
if I know his inconsistency is trash, I know we cannot procreate.
Yeah.
And when you serve a God that's a mighty God, he gonna move that sucker out right on out your way, and that girl that's not correct for you right on out your way.
Amen.
And so that's how I feel about it. So my views may be a little bit different.
No, we all got the same views. We just got it on a different term
right
and levels.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what you know, the things that we accept, that's exactly what we do. We accept it.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You know, the things that we not gonna accept, we not gonna accept it. So that's why in my relationships, I make sure everything be said and done damn near first day of us even thinking that we gonna have a relationship.
Right. So
You know
I
what I'm
have to
saying?
figure out.
So I'm gonna tell you everything about me. And then let you make the decision on if this what you want to deal with or not, cause only you know how you live.
That's true.
So I'm gonna tell you how I live, and then I'm gonna pass the ball over in your side of the court. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you
And then you either take it, you leave it, or
That's
you
it.
work with the areas
That's
that
it.
ain't still right with you. If you not trying to voice like that area gotta change, let me see what I could switch up to get that to. If you don't put no time into it, I really think like you shouldn't even bother with the person
With the
at
person
all.
at
Thank
If
you.
you're already going in that you're not gonna give that person no time, because
100%,
some
man.
people come in guarded just because of
100 and 100.
prior
Not
bullshit.
50 and 50.
So they might not want to try to give you much or nothing in the beginning, because they're also seeing something in you that might have triggered a reminder of what they
of
just
what they
did
just went
with.
through. That's right. You know, so I tell women this.
Everybody have to measure themselves first.
That's right.
You
When
can't
I
make
feel
somebody measure to you if you don't measure yourself.
damn right they don't. Cause when I feel like I'm gonna deal with a woman on a level to where, okay, we gonna be relationship dealing with each other.
That's serious business.
That's when I'm gonna tell you these words right here. I'm not him and I'm not them.
That part.
That's
then
right.
I'm gonna give you the understanding of what I mean.
Who
by
I
that.
am.
You understand what
I
I'm
am
saying?
who I am.
You know, I'm not the last guy you dealt with, and I'm not none of the other guys you have dealt with. So don't give me their problems.
Papa Jeff, the fact that you just spoke on it is, and that's, I love being a master life coach because you know the saying, hey, I was in love, but the best way to get over somebody that you love is to
get
move
on to
on.
somebody
That's
else.
not true. That is not true
No, it ain't.
because you don't know.
No,
You don't know.
Cause you can
First
run
of all,
into something worse than them.
not just that, but you have to allot yourself as an individual time to
heal.
process
Yeah.
and to heal and to say, what did I do wrong?
And what do I want?
What do I want? You have to weigh the pros and cons. What did I do wrong?
Right.
Could I have responded a little bit better?
Right.
You have to weigh the pros and cons.
Right.
Because I feel like it's like
You know how many people do that?
not many. Not many.
As maturity,
Not many.
you know.
As you
Yeah,
grow,
but 20 years later, too late.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if
That's true.
all of this, everything that we speaking on comes out of conversation. You know, communication rules, man. And when people start realizing that, a whole lot of relationships will be better.
Well, what
When
do you
people
do?
realize that communication can
I'm
solve a
telling you.
lot of issues.
That's
man.
it.
Effective
That's
communication,
it.
not just
Yeah.
There
communication,
you go,
but
Shanita.
effective.
If you
Effective
communicate,
communication.
yeah, if you
Effective
communicate, if you
Communication.
communicate,
Effective communication.
any kind of communication is effective because it's got
Not
a point.
necessarily because effective communication.
I knew Shanita was in there somewhere.
No, that's not me.
Come on,
That's
Shanita.
Tiffany.
Tap
That's
in,
Tiffany.
girl.
That's
That's
Tiffany. That's
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
That's
That's
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Oh, that's Tiffany.
Yeah, that's
Come
Tiffany.
on with
But
it,
see,
Tiffany.
when you start talking, you know,
But I'm here though, girl.
I'm gonna say why I'm saying it like I'm saying it. When you start talking to a person, it's an effective communication because you get a response. You understand now? How they take that response is what make the difference. You understand?
Instead
How
of
they process
effective,
it.
it no,
You know.
because it depends on they move. Because instead of effective,
No,
it could be
I'm saying-
effective.
No, but what I'm saying is
Well,
this.
you have to
What I'm
know
saying
how
is
to
this, JL.
process.
What
I
I'm
see
saying
what you're
is,
saying, and I agree
if
with you.
just
You
like
have to
just like
process
when
what
just
that person's saying.
I'm gonna use you for an example. When me and you first met, right? We ain't no how either one of us.
Yeah.
But the way that you approached me in conversation made me feel a certain kind of way. So guess what? I was able to communicate with you now. It was effective.
Yeah.
The way you came to me was effective. Now, had I said, well, baby, look, I don't know nothing about you. I ain't never heard of you. I don't care to talk to you or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you would have took it a certain way, which would have been a bad way.
Right.
You could have said, well, if I said that to you, you could have said, well, damn, he got a badass attitude, or he did. But now, you being a person of standards on realness, you would have said, oh shit, maybe because of what he going through, he ain't even trying to hear nobody this, that, and the third. You feel what I'm saying? So the communication is always effective. It's just on what level with the person you talking to.
Got it. That
So
makes sense. That makes
sometimes we can
sense.
say something to a person and they take it
It can
the
trigger
wrong
them.
way and say, damn, did that, and I can be really talking to you real. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me
Because
say-
I straight up told you. I
Thank you.
said, look, I understand. I understand. Ain't nobody really putting in that work because y'all are preoccupied every day. And if I got these communications, these emails, these addresses, I put it together.
So
I got you.
and that's why I stay neutral. That's why I stay neutral to everything in life, man, because sometimes we can take things the wrong way because of, just like you said, because of what we have been through. If I treated the second and third and fourth woman the way that I was treated by the first woman, and I held that against the second, third, and fourth woman, I'm always be by myself.
So
Right.
it's like
You
sometimes
understand? Some women don't understand.
right.
That's why they're by themselves.
Exactly.
Because they keep holding against the next man what they went through with the last man.
Keep acting out of trauma.
So that's why I say I'm not
Trauma
him and I'm not them. You feel what I'm saying?
Because
Right.
at a certain point, and I've told women this, and I've told women that are close to me this. You need time to reflect. So the same measurements that you use on others, you have it to yourself.
There you go.
Because if you can stand and pick out somebody's flaws, and you ain't did no internal work on yourself,
That part.
Thank you. You gonna go back to the
you way
same
far
shit.
off the
Or if
game.
you can
It's
see
gonna be
everybody
nothing
else
but
flaws.
misery
Thank you.
and
Other than your own.
complications, and you can't expect value to be brought to a table that you're not putting nothing on.
I know that's right.
So you know what you gonna bring to the table. You know, so
Exactly.
and I thought about all of this today, man. You know, because our kids watch us. Our people watch us. Our friends watch us.
Right.
So if you can sit around, and me and Shanita talk about this all the time, man, you sit around and you got 20 people, everybody talking bullshit. Ain't nothing gonna come out of that.
No.
You understand? But now, when we start talking real,
Everybody want to disappear.
hey man, I gotta go pick the children. Oh, it's time for me to
Yeah.
go home
Time
and
to
cook
go.
some shit. It's time, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to hear the truth, man.
That's scary.
Don't know. They are petrified of the truth. They ain't scared of it. They petrified. There's some people petrified to hear the truth because they relate to it. That's all. The only reason they start giving you them crazy ass excuses they
It's
leave.
almost like
It
confronting
because you
yourself. You gotta confront yourself.
and all of us say this. All of us have said this at one time in our life. Man, I ain't been to church in so long. Man, I went to church today, and I think the rail was talking to me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
How
saying?
many times that people say that? Literally, I have watched it, and I have watched Bishop in the back just pick out something random for that day.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And so
you
it
swear
is
to God he talking
everything-
to you.
Huh?
I said, I'm talking about you'll sit there and swear to God, you got to be talking to me, man.
Listen, I'm guilty of it because I left a black church.
Up and down, but that's why I say to use the same measurement that you use on others on yourself, because
Right.
You got
there
to.
is something that attracted you to him, so there is some alike qualities.
That's right.
Well,
So
that's-
if you
yeah.
finding faults in one, there has to be faults in the other.
That's right. That's right.
It's
man.
never a one way. It's constant work. And when you go into new ages and new eras and new times, you don't adapt your moral compass. You don't adapt none of that, but you do the internal work so it's not carried through your entire life.
Well, LJ, let me interrupt.
JL.
JL. Let me interject. Excuse me, JL.
I got you.
Let me interject. I agree with what you're saying. However, the flip side to that is, if you do not know how to identify when someone is being manipulative,
That's right.
narcissist, and their intent is not pure,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're an individual that doesn't know how to identify that, it's gonna be repetitive.
We know how
1,000%.
Yeah, we do, but a
You
lot
talk
of
to that
people.
person long
A
enough.
1,000%.
Listen, a lot of people don't know how to do that. Mindful, mind.
And that's very true. Cause I mean, one of my brothers was a cold piece of work. A cold piece of work. So I get it. I understand that aspect, and I would watch them be so naive,
Yeah.
but they didn't understand. And now I see them as 50-year-old woman, still naive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because once you live something for so long, man, it does actually become a part of you. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
pattern.
It's that pattern, man. And until somebody hit that spot, you're gonna continue to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, and it's because of something that has happened in your past. to where you said to yourself, see, we men, this is a man telling y'all that. We men, if we sit down after if we separate from a woman through marriage or we separate a woman through relationship or however, and it was one thing in that total relationship that actually scarred us. We gonna sit back and tell ourselves this will never happen again. The same thing a woman will say.
However, you're gonna have to heal Papa Jeff from that.
But
And
now I'm saying this what men will say.
Listen, I just
Men will say that. Now, like you say, we do have to heal from it, but at the same token, say you go, I'm gonna give you a low ball. Say you go 2 years and you don't date. You know, you don't give a woman a conversation. You don't give nobody a number, no nothing. Cause you trying to heal from the hurt you just went through. All right. And now here it is, the third year, you say, well, okay, I think I'm gonna try to start dating, at least. All right. And you out one night, or you walk in a restaurant, or you walk in a grocery store, or you walking through the park, and a woman strike you, meaning when you can look at her and say, damn, you know, she got your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And God forbid she wind up giving you a conversation. All right, it gonna go from that to y'all talk. So you might call her every other day. She might call you every day, and you ignore her on purpose. Because you're not trying to move too fast, as we all say.
I don't like that. I
So-
don't like to be ignored.
You don't like that?
I
Now-
don't like being ignored.
Now,
I give you a two courtesy. When I call you, I give you a two courtesy ring, and I'm hang up. So, baby, I'm calling you. I don't like to text.
but see, you can't. You know, you have to be mindful now. You have to be mindful. Because I had talked to a young lady one time, and she was out on something like that. But what y'all got to be mindful of is, if I got a job, and you call me doing my work hours,
Right, that's
you can't expect.
understandable.
No, but some women ain't gonna understand that. Some women don't care. Especially like she said, if I text you, that's why I say I ain't never too busy to answer the
Well,
phone.
Papa Jeff, can we go a little bit deeper because
So, so now, once that started happening, now you got to make a decision. Both people. But the person who's the most vulnerable has to make the ultimate decision because they know what they're trying to shake. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to shake getting over a woman who hurt me in a way. You probably trying to get over a man who hurt you in a way to make you say, oh, I'm getting a divorce. And, you know, like sometimes y'all to say all men are the same, that's a damn lie.
I don't believe
all
that.
men are not
I
the
don't
same.
believe that.
You know,
I don't
some-
believe
But
that.
some women have been mentally.
I mean, I can understand why
Urge
some
to
people would
think
say
like
that.
But listen, let me
But-
say this. I got to cut you off, Papa Jeff, because you know me
Yeah.
before I can, and you don't know the LOPs and the SOPs of this
Yeah.
falsified relationship,
Yeah.
but you talked me out of something that could possibly
Yeah, I know. I
send
talked
me
to her.
back to
Where you
jail
came from.
because, and I took my glasses off,
And that's the truth.
because
That's the truth.
I
though.
gave a man a chance.
Yeah.
He was a, I can't
You can
cuss
say
on.
what you want to say.
He was a fuck nigga.
Not the
And I was there for him because the woman that I am,
That's the truth.
because I'm a warrior of a woman, I'm a queen, I'm a princess, I'm all of that and the above. I am who I am. And because I felt like I was in a relationship, you gotta think, I did 21 years.
Yeah, right.
I ain't son no man, I'm trying to get this money, and I'm trying to get this bag, I'm trying to build something and make something of my life and myself.
That's
And I
right. You
didn't know
missed
what
21
nobody.
years.
And because this skin walking, dirty red bottom feeder of a man, I don't know who created him, but forgive me, because I forgive him, Jesus.
You're right. You
Now-
got to just move on.
When you have a woman who is on her, who's doing what she needs to do for her, especially someone that is so fragile as to did a lot of time, and they working every day, and they making paving the way for them, and you come in and you know your intentions ain't to do nothing but be a skinwalker and a monitoring spirit, that's why we have to start judging people by their spirits and their characters. Let me say that again. You have to look at people's spirits and their characters. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. Papa Jeff literally stopped me from, I would have been serving a death row sentence. And I would have told the judge, hey, it is what it is. He lied, he cheated, he was a skinwalker.
She was at that point.
She was gonna take him out.
At that point. Hey man, but see, it's like I tell people a lot of times.
She ran into
You don't
like
know-
my brother, my cousin, them.
Yeah, you don't
I pray
you know,
today
you
for
got
God
guys
to give me
out here.
discernment.
You know, you got guys out here who
expedient.
living like that. You feel what I'm saying? See, you know, like I told Tip, you got men out here that's living off women. You understand what I'm saying? To where that's all they want to do. They want a woman to take care of them. Then on top of that, you don't know these people like that.
I don't even talk to
So
guys
to
that
learn
don't
a
have
man,
their
so
own
to
place.
learn a
That's not your
man
boy,
character,
this is-
but see, she didn't take the time like to do what she just said. Learn his character.
Learn him.
And I tried, I thought I did.
No, I don't even talk to
Yeah.
guys that
listen,
You don't got
just
your
like-
own place.
just-
I mean,
just like
I don't
I
even
told
talk to
you.
guys that
Just-
don't have their own
But see,
place.
just like I told you though.
But
It's some
he
guys
did though.
out here.
That's
It's
the
some guys out
caveat.
here.
He did.
It's some guys out
He
here.
did.
good
He had a
with that.
car. He
They
had a
good
car.
with
He had a
that.
place.
You know what I'm saying?
But he was a
Okay, I thought
worker.
you said he wanted to
He-
live off you.
No, not live off of
No,
me
it's
necessarily.
his
but
game.
When we're in a relationship, okay,
No, it's
I'm
his
just gonna
game.
say what it is.
He seen she had something going on, and he said, "Oh, I get up under her, I can
I'm
maneuver
good.
something." You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She didn't see it because she's been gone for 21 years.
Gotcha.
So she's vulnerable
Right.
to him.
Right.
Or blind.
You feel what I'm saying? No, you just
I was vulnerable.
You
Yeah.
just
But I
vulnerable.
wasn't
Cause you
studying, though,
don't make
for
no
real.
difference. You probably wasn't studying, but your mindset and your heart was.
He was. He
Cause
had
you
like
been
he had
lonely.
his.
You know, you
he
been
had his,
by yourself for
He had
21
his knee
years.
on my chakra that bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me. Just
I'm not
give
in
him
a good
chance.
position to talk
Yeah.
about no
Let me just
relationship
give you a
right now.
chance, cause when I'm not in
Yes,
the
you
best
are.
of places.
No, because I'm having issues myself right
Don't
now.
make no
okay,
difference.
though. It's
That's
okay.
why we're having this
It don't
counseling.
matter if you have an issue.
That's why we
you
having
are
this
a
counseling.
strong black
Oh,
woman.
I'm strong.
That's right.
And one
So-
thing about it, a little prayer always gonna change things.
Right,
Let me tell you something.
always.
Touch not mine. I'm the one that
Let me
my
tell you
children
something.
are
JL right now. JL right now is going through something that's real upsetting. Her son was in a bad accident. You know, she dealing with a lot of other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I be thankful for her to call in. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know she going through something, man, and me being in this situation that I'm going through, we don't talk like that. So when I hear her voice, when she texts me or whatever the case might be, that let me know that she doing all right or she getting there.
That bring
You understand?
comfort
So
and peace.
yeah, you know, so cause I think about her. I think about what she going through cause she supported me throughout what I was going through. And like I said,
I
and we
appreciate
met
it.
on that type of shit. You
That's
understand
how it's
what I'm
supposed
saying?
to be.
You know,
That's how
so
it's supposed to be.
you know, that's why I like having these situations and having these conversations with this show, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, we're all saying that when we think we going through something bad, it's some people going through some shit worse. You understand? But they're at least we able to talk to somebody.
Yep.
Think about the people who don't have nobody to talk
Nobody.
to, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I feel
right.
like they don't have enough choice in nobody to talk to them, and it's all because of shit like this. We talk, and then sooner we hang up, we call somebody. Man, you know these folks talking and did that in the third, and man, they ain't trying to hear that shit, and you know ain't got no nothing as far as courtesy or sympathy to say, damn, I'm glad we had this conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Because we learned some things from each other. We gave each other some advice, you know what I'm saying? And now we have a relationship. How in the hell can you have a relationship with some people you probably grew up with, been knowing all your life and everything, and you can't have this kind of conversation with them.
I think.
Right.
Let's make that shit make sense.
I can tell you how to make it make sense in the math not mathing because I think some of the people that you grew up with, y'all aren't like minded. Y'all separate. Because what you like 5 years ago, it's not gonna be what you like today. What I like 3 years ago, I used to like bananas as a child. You can't make me eat bananas
Yeah,
today.
I get that.
I think people grow apart and. I'm gonna use myself for example. My childhood friend, we not friends today because some of them more some values.
And that's respectable. I respect that. I honor that. But what I'm saying is, I don't have to see y'all. If I don't see you for a year, that don't mean I don't love you. That don't mean I don't care. That don't mean you ain't nobody to me no more. I just haven't seen you in a year.
Give me air hugs. Yes.
But if they're your real people, no matter if you blood relation or friend,
That's right.
then you can pick up wherever you left off.
That's right.
And I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that,
Even
LJ.
skip a beat. The ones where you feel like a beat been skipped, then it need to stay where it's at. Skip.
Because when you have a relationship with a person, a lot of my friendships and I'm big on rapport. I don't just want to have friendships because rapport are important to me because they just are. And so I might not talk to you, LJ. We've been friends for 3 years, but I ain't talked to you in 6 months. But you call me, hey girl, XYZ. I'm there, and we gonna pick up where we left off from because that's what genuine, real friendships are about, and that's what they look like.
Yeah, time doesn't mean anything. See, I have a lot of people that have a lot of love for me, and I know that they there, but I don't go by people. I don't allow access to me from everybody, and a lot of people don't understand that. I say I do that because not everybody should have access to you.
That's right.
You have to set some boundaries within yourself. You can help people, you could talk to them, you could do everything else, but to let them in within arm's reach is a whole different story.
Definitely. You know, so
It's a whole different story. You can't allow everyone to have that type of access to you. That is earned, that's respected, and that's built. And it has to be genuine. Has to be genuine.
that's why you know we have to put these morals back in place, man, for these kids now. You know, and for some grown people. I got to stop saying kids, but it's some grown people who needs to hear these things. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody have been so blindsided to where a lot of people done fed into the ignorance of raising kids, of even being people anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got people who won't even be people anymore. You know, and what I mean by people is we don't show no concern for others, no kind of way, man.
No kind of way.
But we'll sit back and say what we need to do. Don't keep saying what we need to do. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. You know, so you got people.
Have somebody right there. You got somebody in front of you. Break it down. You can't just ignore it.
You can't, man. You know what I'm saying?
You can't ignore it because you might not ever get a chance to ever see a breakdown like that again. That might have been your last breakdown that they done showed you.
There you go. You know, so
you'll never know where somebody at mentally, and you'll never know where somebody at emotionally. So I always tell people that how you deal with people during them circumstances are usually the ones that just stick.
That's it.
So make sure there's no redos after it's done.
After it's done.
So
that's
right.
It. Can't get it back.
Right. There's no get back from that. And so that's why I always say, like, if you have somebody in that space, don't worry about you, because you're not in that space at that moment.
That's right. So we got
you got to take care of the ones that take care of you, point blank.
That's protection.
That's right.
protection, man.
Protection. That's exactly what it is. 100% protection.
We need that from each other.
LJ, earlier I said I was raised where my grandmother raised me where you look out for those that look out for you and you bless those that are less fortunate than you. And so I think a lot of times in this day and age people don't do that. They don't know, they don't deal with principle. They don't deal with, let me put myself in someone else's shoes. Let me look at things from a different perspective. And I always do that. And so I just think like we have to get back to being
That
the
village.
change that we want to see because it takes a village.
We gotta go back to the village,
does.
Yeah,
man.
we have to be the change that we want to see.
You know, so and the only way we're gonna make change is we gotta come together as a people. We gotta come together as a people, man. It's you know, it takes a hell of a man or woman or whoever to make a decision to say, okay, I'm gonna be that person to try to get it started, to try to make it happen. You know, it takes a lot to do that, and to be able to say it and try to stand on it. It takes a lot, you know.
And we're not saying go band together and go put a group together and overwhelm yourself. We just saying do the internal work so that way when you're healed and you're completely ready to go, you are going to be more than valuable and you'll be an asset to the next person.
That's it. Each one teach one.
That's exactly
You know,
right.
where one go, we all go.
That's right.
And if it's too heavy to even talk about, some people are there. Some people have some heavy stuff that they deal with. Journal
There you
it.
go.
Write it
There you
down.
go. There
And
you
when
go.
you feel like it's all good and it's all done, burn it.
Yeah.
Walk
Or
forward.
if
Be
you want
done
to talk
with
about
it.
it, talk about it. You got somewhere, you know, you got
that's-
somewhere you can come and talk about it.
That's right. And it's something that we really need to talk about that too, because it would be good if we get a little podcast group together that just is a safe place, you
That's
know.
That's
They
it.
can come on and we can give what knowledge we have that we don't went through.
Hey man, but at least you'll be getting it out. You know,
Right.
Some people don't have none of that.
Right.
None of that.
It's
They don't have
about-
nobody.
I think it's about, I use me for an example to go through what I have gone through and to come out and become a master, like get my life coaching degree and then pursue my master's and just want to help ladies and not just only ladies who've been.
Girl, you got life degree.
Oh, thank you.
You just did all them years in prison, girl.
right.
You got life degree. You don't gotta go sit in nobody's classroom to be able to help the next person. You experienced it. You walked through it. You did what you had to do.
That's right.
You out now. You looking for a different change. You looking for something new. Like, don't never feel like you have to push yourself in that box to make it happen because you got a life degree. And I'll take that degree before I go grab somebody that went and sat in a classroom that might have paid attention.
Cause that's the experience, man.
But you
Hey
know,
man, you
it's-
can't beat the experience.
Right, and it's even something.
Hands on. you can't
Right.
be hands
Some
on.
things are a natural gift that God gave us, and
Yeah.
it's us. It says in His Word, your gifts will make you fruitful and multiply. And because of that, the trauma and the mishaps and the testimonies that I've been through, for me, it's just about helping, reach one, teach one. I am the change that I want to see, and so, you know, for me, it's just like, hey, I only want to be around like-minded people who are trying to be successful and move forward in life, and I just think that's fair.
Yeah, in order to
think
change,
that's fair.
sometimes you have to put yourself in that type of situation in order to change. You know, so it's
Obviously, some changes been made because you've been out 5 years.
that's right. She
You
done
know what
made-
I'm
she done
saying?
made a
So
big difference.
don't never, like, obviously changes have already been applied to you, already following something different, and you've been 5 years out here after you just walk down all of that time. Like, nah.
He's right.
Nah,
she
don't
came a
don't
long
go
way.
put yourself in a debt to try to do it. There is programs out there that you can do it from the comfort of your home and have the same certificate that can make the same amount of money if you wanted to do it professionally, but nothing stops you with credentials. You can open up a consulting place and be able to talk to troubled youth, troubled young women, or whatever passion you have. I always say is look into it and talk to people that have knowledge and experience in that area, because going to go sit in a classroom to work for another person to do the same things that you could do, I'm telling you, they gonna go with the person that have life experience, no matter where you're at. They're not gonna pick the person that sat in the classroom for 6 years,
That's right.
and that's real. Not to discourage school for anybody, guys, because I did put myself back there 3 times, but I was doing medical, so you can't move unless you do that.
LJ, give yourself some grace simply because going in the medical field is not, you have to have a certain amount of compassion and empathy to go into that industry. I was going to school for phlebotomy, someone who has seizures and has to get their blood drawn, and it's like, I don't like needles, so I'm just not with all of that. So to go to study that, and to get a better understanding of, the blood and what someone is coming to get their blood drawn from, you have to just have a certain kind of compassion just to be in that field as a whole. So I commend you, and I can't wait to meet you in person.
Well, I started out as a candy striper.
Oh, me
That's
too.
what they called them back then.
Yeah, me too. A candy
I was
striper.
a
You didn't get
candy
paid.
striper.
You just went and you sat and you just sat there and you might be taking their food and their water. But yeah, I'm alumni of the candy stripers.
Well, my goal was to get to the ambulance. That was my goal because I come from a small city that got high violence, high crime. And a lot of my family members have been put into these ambulances, and their life was expired before they got to the hospital just from not exhausting all efforts. So I said, I need to be up on there. So I just made sure I got every credential I needed to work on the ambulance, and I started saving my own. Then got the credentials to work on the helicopter. Now I'm taking everything that is the worst of the worst, and then I work trauma in the emergency room, and then I work regular emergency room. I work the trauma side, and I just kept on going, work myself to a medical director, and then I said, I'm done. I'm retired.
Well, I want to say congrats, and listen, what all that you just said, you are a boss babe, seriously. Seriously, so you can't compete with that. You're pushing yourself to another level.
I had kids. I had kids that depended on me. I had 2 girls and 2 boys, and there wasn't an option to call their daddy to say, hey, come pick them up, or this your week. He's walking down a bed. He had a 20-year bed. So when I knew that sentence came down, I knew for 20 years it was on me.
So you have been on the side of the family members who have been incarcerated. Do you follow me? Earlier, I don't know if you were watching, but earlier I said it's not just about the person being incarcerated. The family is affected by that. Their loved one, their wives.
That's right.
their
Everybody
baby
is
mothers.
affected.
Everyone is affected, and so it's so taboo where you have to almost, hey, try to not figure out, but you have to want to get to know that person who has been incarcerated. You have to want to know, you have to want to be in their lives, and you want to keep that connection. So, hey, once they're released, let me see, because you might have grown. They might have grown 6 months from their release date, just as well as the family member might have grown in 6 months till their release date. So that is one of the things now that is being really talked about. And I wasn't trying to throw what you were saying off with just the fact that you mentioned that you were a prison wife. And God bless you, keep you, and further you, and may all your heart's desires come to fruition, because you went through a lot just like your husband did, being incarcerated. And you have to give yourself grace just like the person that was incarcerated has to give themselves grace.
I mean, I didn't process it. I processed it that day. All right, this is what it's got to be. And the next day I was up, I was making moves, and I was making sure that I was going to make A, B, and C work, and I was going to do what I have to do. Never look back, never batted an eye, never did none of that, because it's no point to put myself through the emotion of something that can't change.
Can't change. You're right. Can't worry about
So
something you
there
can't
was
change.
no reason now, if I beat myself down, or how am I going to do this, on my own for 20 years, if I put myself in that mindset, I just looked at it as I wasn't standing up for my kids. I was not making sure that their plan was stable. That's my job.
That's right.
I pushed them out. So I need to make sure that they stable on all grounds. And just from there, we worked our way up out the hood and got to the suburbs, and then we kept going. And I'm not mad at the process, because it built all of us.
That's right. That's right.
It didn't just build me, it built them to know that, look, this all we got.
It can be different.
And it's hard from where we come from. We know that. I know you guys are going to school, school getting shot up during lunchtime. I know you guys are dealing with stuff, going through metal detectors, dog sniffing, all that, just to get into school to learn. I know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But we not a product here. We gonna just make it work. And as long as we stick to what we stick to, we'll be all right. And all of us made it out.
Good, and that's good. And all of that
So-
came from exactly
The
what we
grind,
speaking
shit, the grind, the
Shit.
mentality. You got to keep that hustle, not just physically. You got to keep that mental hustle.
of. Yeah. So, and all of those come from just what we talking about tonight, man. How we was raised. Parental guidance. Parental guidance,
Exactly.
man. Without that, you gonna do a lot of ignorant shit. But to recover from it and rehabilitate from it, that's what make it even better for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you survived it. You did, you didn't do like a lot of people do. A lot of people accepted and just go get worse. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Or out for self. I mean, there's a lot of people that is just out for self, and they were raised different. They seen different.
There you go.
They went through different. But
Yeah.
they still choose different because it's the money flow there now, but there's no principle or no value behind that. You're not sitting on nothing morally.
They're just living day by day.
That's it, that's all.
Ain't
And that
thinking
money
about
run
5
dry.
years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Yeah.
It's just day by day. So, to me, that's giving up. That's giving up. When you just trying to live day by day, man, you done gave up.
That's true.
You done gave up. So we're going to get ready to end the show. And I sure appreciate you calling in, young lady.
Yeah,
I
I got to
Tiffany.
get going. I'm about to finally get some dinner. It's almost 10 o'clock where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Yeah.
So
Here too.
I appreciate y'all. And I'll call in soon. And I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day, Shanita. Happy Tiffany, you said you had children, right?
Yeah.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to you, and you have a
Happy
beautiful,
Mother's
blessed
Day.
May the rest of this year be just fruitful and multiply, and may God just bless you. Everything you touch turn to platinum, and that's from my heart.
And I received that, amen. And I hope that you get the same back tenfold. Shanita, don't go crazy this weekend. Baby, relax. It's about you. You are always busy.
Yes, she is, man. So I want to
Yeah.
give a moment of silence to Mr. Ted Turner. He passed away this week. And believe it or not, I used to work for Mr. Turner.
Oh,
I
wow.
used to work for him when he had the billboard company. I used to work for him, man, and then I used to work for him off the record by going to his house on the weekend with my Uncle Linwood, and we used to cut his grass, wash the cars, all type of old shit, man. Mr. Turner was one of the coolest people you could ever want to meet, man. I mean that literally. He was cool, man, you know, and to find out he had passed, man, you know, was kind of hurtful to me, cause when I say he took care of us, man, he took care of us. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never watched 3 cars and made $500. Shit. So, you know, he was that type of person.
That's a good man.
Yeah, he was that type of person, man. He'll leave while we out there cleaning up, you know, cutting the grass and doing everything. Man, he come back, he got food, drinks, everything, water, the whole 9 yards, man. He was just like that. He was just like that. Even when you worked for him at the food bank, same way. Same way. Mr. Turner did have the food bank that sat on Jefferson Street by the Fulton County Jail. You know, so back
Rest in
back
peace
then,
to
it was,
Mr. Turner.
yeah. So I want to give a moment of silence to him, and then we're gonna wrap the show up. And I appreciate y'all for calling in and coming in, and you know, I that's what this is about. You know, so everything that we have discussed is definitely parts of the way that our kids make do to our strict parental guidance. It comes from stories like this. You know, it comes from stories like this. People actually letting them know that they are not going through no more than we have went through to be raised to be good citizens, good people of the community, you know, people that can live with being part of corporate America, the whole 9 yards, you know, and some of our kids get it and they take it to another level. Some get it and you know they have to figure it out, you know. So we're gonna give a few minutes to Mr. Turner, and then we're gonna end the show. So we're gonna give a moment of silence to Mr. Ted Turner. All right, everybody, we in a moment of silence. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So we're gonna let Tiffany take us home. And I got a song that we're gonna play. So we can let everybody know that, you know, it ain't all bad when you have to go do all your serving for rehabilitation in prison, school, wherever. Tiffany did 21 years, man. 21 years. And now she's back at home. She's doing what she have to do. She's been a part of serving the community. She's giving back to the country, the world. You know, so I'm proud of her for that. She's made a big accomplishment. So you can be rehabilitated. I wanted everybody to know that. There's no way you can say you can't be rehabilitated. She did 21 years. She got rehabilitated.
And look at her living.
Thank you. Living.
Period.
Looking nice, feeling nice, and she's still producing. She's still taking care of the community, giving back. regardless of what. All right. So this is Big Jeff and
And Coach Tiffany.
Coach Tiffany coming to you live from No Days Off Radio Production on the #1 show in the land. Nothing
But the truth.
but the truth. All right. And JL, you know it's always a pleasure for you to call me, girl.
Happy Mother's
Always
Day.
love.
All right.
Always love.
And happy Mother's Day to both of y'all. Hope y'all enjoy it. And tell my boy he's still in my prayers, man.
Appreciate you always, always.
And when he
I'm going to check back in with you. I'll call you.
Okay. All right.
All right, y'all have a good one. God bless.
All right. God bless you too.
Well,
All right.
Bye, guys.
See y'all later.
Bye.
ciao.
All right. This Big Jeff from No Days Off Radio Production coming to you live from #1 show in the land. Nothing but the truth. And we out.